Shalom, friends. Here we are again on Tuesday afternoons, and I want to sort of dive a little deeper into. We're in the fourth week of the Omer, and this afternoon at noon time, we were talking about the fourth chapter of Pirke Avot, and I want to dive into one that has remained with me during the day today and spend just a few more minutes on this sort of teaching. It's a teaching of Rabbi Yanai, who some have speculated was actually trying to teach teachers. He was trying to be an education professor, and his instruction goes like this. Rabbi Yanai Omer, Rabbi Yanai said, Ein biyadenu lo mishalvat ha-rashaim ve'af lo misurei hatzadikim. It's not in our hands to explain why the wicked may have serenity, or even why the righteous may have some afflictions. So what's he saying here? He is warning his teachers not to try and interpret the events of the world with regards to why good people suffer and bad people succeed. We have a great tendency to want to explain why things have happened, to want to try and explain why a righteous person has fallen into bad times or has had something very difficult happen to them, is experiencing a certain kind of trauma. We want to explain, well, why is it that this good person is having something bad happen to them, and this bad person is having something good happen to them? We'd like to explain it. We want to give a reason for it. It makes me think of the times that we have heard people want to explain a natural disaster, or a hurricane or other earthquake, and say, oh, those people, they suffered because they were sinning, or they were doing something bad. That's why the earthquake came and hit them, or why a certain a tragic event happened. It's not our job. Rabbi Yanai is trying to say to us, we can say, it's okay for us to say, I don't know why this is happening. I don't know why obviously bad person is having such good fortune, or why a good person is having such bad fortune. We have to leave that in God's hands. We have to leave that beyond ourselves and say, we can't explain that, because it's not ours to be able to explain. And yet every day, all the time, we hear people trying to make excuses or explain that, or try and say why a good person suffers, or why a bad person has had success. Rabbi Yanai says, don't try and explain it. It's beyond you. But then he goes on to say, in the same statement combined with that statement is a statement of Rabbi Matya ben Harash, and he says, Have makdim b'shalom kol adam. Be the first one to greet other people, to extend other greetings to other people. Again, this section is sort of pointed towards those who are teachers in the classroom. And this teaching, I think, is a warning to teachers to recognize the individuals who are there to learn from them, to call on them, to let their thoughts and ideas be expressed, to reach out to them, to see them, not to ignore them, to see them. And that's a job for a teacher. That's a job for all of us. How can we see the other? Can we recognize them? Can we greet them? Can we speak to them in a way that lets them know we are aware of their presence? We are aware of who they are, not just their name. That's great to know too, but that they are a human being in our presence, and we should reach out to them and let them know that. We should go ahead and say that. And his statement, by the way, ends with this very cryptic verse, be a tail unto lions and not a head unto foxes. And was some very wonderful creative answers in class today as we spoke about that. And you may have your own creative answer for what it means to be a tail unto lions and not a head unto foxes. But one interpretation is that, for the teacher at least, is that don't be so sure of yourself that you're not willing to step back and let your student, the lion, lead. Let your student be the leader. Let your student say what they want to say and express the thought and acknowledge. If their thought is a good one, acknowledge that. It's okay to follow along. You don't have to be the wisest person in the room. You don't have to be the smartest person in the room. And look, we all know people who regularly want to be the smartest, most intelligent person in that entire room or in that conversation. But here, Rabbi Harash is teaching us it's okay. It's okay to stand back and be the tail and let the great idea of your student be expressed. And you don't have to be the head of a fox, the slyest, the most clever, the most the most creative in the room. You can let others shine as well. And that a teacher, a true teacher, knows that when their students shine, then they themselves shine. Then they themselves are honored. And we had a whole section just this morning also talking in chapter 4 about who is really honored. It's not maybe who you think is honored, but it's when you honor someone else. That's when you bring honor on yourself, when you honor someone else. So I think honoring someone else is still part of this little cryptic comment. Much to learn in these chapters, much to learn in these little bits of wisdom. Join me now as we close with the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, b'alma divrei kirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, b'agalav v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam le'amei amaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpoar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yidadar v'yidaleh v'yidalal shemei d'kudisha barichu, Li'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, damiran b'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shloma rabba min shemaya, v'chayim olenu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Aseh shalom b'imramav, hu yaseh shalom, olenu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Have a good week, friends. Thank you for being with me.